I died choking on my own blood in a dingy motel room off Highway 101. The taste of cheap bourbon and betrayal thick on my tongue. My brother Ethan's voice echoed in my skull one last time. You were always the screw-up, Peyton, as the knife he'd plunged into my gut twisted with surgical precision. But death isn't the end. It's just the universe's cruelest reset button, and when I gasped awake in my old body, 28 again, staring at the peeling wallpaper of my crummy San Francisco apartment from 3 years prior, I knew. This time, I'd make him bleed first. The hook of that first breath hit like a freight train, heart pounding, sheets tangled around me like restraints from a past life I hadn't escaped. I bolted upright, the digital clock on my nightstand blinking 3:17 a.m., July 15th, 2022, the exact date I'd poured my life savings into Ethan's revolutionary AI startup, Technova. Back then, I'd been the wide-eyed little brother, fresh off a dead-end coding gig at a Bay Area startup that folded like a bad poker hand. Ethan, the golden boy with his Wharton MBA and that predatory smile, had swooped in with promises of equity, family loyalty, a piece of the Silicon Valley dream. We're in this together, pay, he'd said, clapping my shoulder as we signed the papers in a coffee shop that reeked of overpriced lattes and ambition. Lies. All of it. I stumbled to the bathroom mirror, splashing cold water on my face, and there I was, Peyton Hale, 28, with the same haunted eyes that had stared back at me moments before the world went black. But now, those eyes burned with the fire of 3 years' worth of buried rage. I remembered every detail, the boardroom coups, the forged documents, the way Ethan had gaslit our investors into believing I was the liability, the embezzlement that left me penniless and desperate, and the final act, that motel meeting where he'd confessed it all over whiskey, then silenced me forever to cover his tracks. The cops had ruled it a robbery gone wrong, my body dumped like trash on the outskirts of Oakland. Ethan walked away with millions, the startup's valuation skyrocketing to 9 figures. He toasted my tragic loss at the funeral, the hypocrisy dripping like venom. But not this time. This time, I own the narrative. I grabbed my laptop, fingers flying across the keys as I hacked into my old email, thank God for muscle memory, and pulled up the original investment agreement. There it was, buried in legalese. My 60% stake, diluted only if certain milestones weren't met, which Ethan had sabotaged from day one. He thought he was clever, cooking the books to trigger the clauses, but I'd seen the ledgers in my dying haze. Now, with foreknowledge, I could unravel it all thread by thread. Dawn broke over the fog-shrouded streets of the Mission District as I stepped out, the chill biting through my hoodie like a warning. San Francisco in 2022 was a pressure cooker. Tech bros in Tesla Cybertrucks zipping past homeless encampments. VCs throwing money at anything with AI in the pitch deck. I'd fit right back in, the ghost of my former self, but sharper, meaner. My first move, track down Lena, the sharp-tongued lawyer who'd been my one ally before Ethan iced her out. She was holed up in a walk-up in No Valley, buried in pro bono cases, but I knew she'd bite if I dangled the right bait. I showed up at her door unannounced, a 6-pack of Anchor Steam in hand as peace offering. Peyton, holy shit, you look like you saw a ghost. Her laugh was gravelly, eyes narrowing behind cat-eye glasses. Lena Vasquez, 42, Latina firebrand who'd clawed her way through Stanford Law on scholarships and spite. She'd warned me about Ethan once, over late-night takeout. Family's the worst kind of blind spot, kid. Now, I was here to make her see. We cracked beers on her fire escape, the city humming below like a beast stirring. I laid it out, not the full resurrection bit. That'd get me committed, but the dream I'd had, a nightmare vision of Ethan's betrayal. Fabricated just enough to hook her without sounding insane. He dilutes me out, Lena. Forges the audits, siphons funds to offshore accounts. By 2025, Technova's a unicorn, and I'm gone. I let the word hang, heavy as the fog rolling in from the bay. She leaned forward, elbows on knees, the steam from her beer mixing with her cigarette smoke. You got proof? Or is this some sibling paranoia? I slid over my laptop, the email chain glowing like evidence in a perp walk. Her brows shot up. 60%? Jesus, Peyton, that's controlling interest. If we can prove sabotage. She trailed off, wheels turning. But trust was a commodity in this town, scarcer than affordable rent. Why now? What's the angle? I met her gaze, the lie slipping out smooth as silicon. Because if I wait, it'll be too late. And Ethan? He's already 3 steps ahead. Understatement of the century. In my past life, he'd anticipated every move, planted doubts with investors, leaked concerns about my instability to the press. This time, I'd play dirty first. By noon, we were knee-deep in discovery. Lena pulled strings at the courthouse, digging up preliminary filings for Technova. Ethan had incorporated it 6 months back, a lean operation in a co-working space in Soma, all buzzwords and beta tests, an AI platform for predictive hiring, revolutionizing HR with unbiased algorithms. Bullshit. I'd coded the core engine myself, late nights fueled by Red Bull and brotherly delusion. He took the credit, of course, schmoozing at TechCrunch Disrupt while I debugged in the shadows. Our first strike, an anonymous tip to the SEC about irregularities in the cap table. I routed it through a VPN in Estonia, untraceable, watching from a dive bar in the Castro as the confirmation email pinged. Ethan's world was about to crack. But revenge isn't a sprint. It's a marathon through moral gray zones. That night, alone in my apartment, doubts crept in. Was I any better than him? Stabbing from the dark? The knife in my gut phantom ached, a reminder, survival first, ethics later. Weeks blurred into a haze of caffeine and cat and mouse. Ethan reached out, casual as ever, voice crackling over the phone like nothing had changed. Hey bro, heard you're back in the game. Coffee on me, Starbucks, my treat. Can't have you slumming it on instant. The mockery stung, a direct hit from my deathbed taunt. In the past, I'd laughed it off, desperate for his approval. Now, it fueled the fire. Sure, Ethan. Make it a Vinny. Black, like my soul after dealing with you. We met at the same spot, a gleaming outpost of corporate excess near the Embarcadero, ferries honking in the distance like impatient creditors. He looked the same, tousled blonde hair, designer stubble, that Rolex glinting like a badge of stolen success. Hey, you look intense. Everything good. His eyes flicked to my threadbare jeans, the judgment unspoken. Can't afford coffee? But I could see the calculation underneath, the scan for weaknesses. I sipped slow, letting the bitterness mirror the moment. Peachy, just thinking about old times. Like that equity deal. Remember? 60% feels like a lifetime ago. His smile froze, just a microsecond, but I caught it. The tell of a man who'd buried bodies, literal and figurative. Water under the bridge, man. We're family. Speaking of, Technova's crushing it. Raised a seed round last week, 2 mil from Sequoia Scouts. You should come by the office, see what you've been missing. Invitation laced with hook. In my old timeline, I'd bitten, pouring in another chunk of cash that sealed my dilution. This time, maybe. Or maybe I'll just audit the books. For fun. His laugh was forced, a bark in the sterile air. Audit? Come on, Peyton, live a little. But as we parted, I slipped a USB into his messenger bag. Lena's mock-up of falsified docs, enough to spook him into mistakes. Plant the seed of paranoia, watch it choke the garden. Back home, the real work began. I dove into code, resurrecting my old algorithms, tweaking them with future knowledge. Technova's AI had a flaw, a bias loop that favored white-collar Ivy Leaguers, ripe for a class action if exposed. I'd buried it before, loyal to a fault. Now, I'd weaponize it. Late nights, screens glowing blue in the dark, I built a shadow version. Paynova, my Counter-Strike, pitched to the same VCs under a pseudonym. Irony at its finest, stealing his thunder with his own tech. Lena called at midnight, voice hushed like we were fugitives. SEC's sniffing. Ethan's lawyers scrambling, some hotshot from Cooley. But here's the kicker. Your brother's got skeletons. Offshore wires to a Cayman shell, funneled through a shell company tied to. Wait for it. Your mom's old charity. My blood ran cold. Mom. Cancer took her 5 years back, her foundation for underprivileged kids in Oakland a fading memory. Ethan, siphoning from that. The betrayal deepened, roots twisting into family soil I'd thought sacred. That's not just fraud, I whispered, pacing the linoleum. That's desecration. The hook of it all, he'd used her legacy as camouflage, laundering investor cash through feel-good donations that never materialized. Kids went unfed while he yachted in the Mediterranean. Rage boiled, pure and American. The dream twisted into nightmare. Horatio Alger meets Machiavelli. We pivoted hard. Next move, infiltrate. I posed as a journalist from Wired, credentials forged in Photoshop, landing an exclusive interview at Technova's new digs, a glassy loft in mid-market, graffiti murals clashing with minimalist chic. Ethan preened for the camera, my hidden phone, spilling just enough to damn himself. Peyton's a great guy, but visionaries need space. He got distracted. Code 4. I shoved him aside. Behind the scenes, I chatted up the devs, starry-eyed coders in hoodies, loyal to the paycheck. One, a kid named Raj from Bangalore, slipped me a thumb drive over craft beers at Zeitgeist. Something's off, man. The numbers don't add up. Jackpot. Emails, ledgers, the works, proof of the Cayman diversions, timestamps aligning with Mom's foundation filings. But Ethan smelled the rat. My phone buzzed at 2 a.m., unknown number. Peyton, we need to talk. Now. The address, that same motel off 101. History rhyming. But this time, I arrived armed, not with naivety, but a recorder in my pocket and Lena on speed dial. The neon buzzed vacancy, a siren's call to the damned. He waited in room 12, silhouette against the drawn curtains, a bottle of Macallan on the nightstand, upgraded from bourbon, the bastard. You think you're clever, huh? Digging around, stirring shit. His voice was silk over steel, eyes wild in the dim light. I leaned against the door, casual. Clever? Nah, just thorough. Like Mom would have wanted. The name drop hit like a gut punch. His face crumpled, then hardened. Don't you dare bring her into this. She babied you, Peyton. Always the favorite, the sensitive one. I built this empire while you coded in her basement. Lies layered on venom. In truth, I'd bootstrapped us both after Dad split. Scholarships, side hustles, her chemo bills. But Ethan? He'd partied through college, then guilt me into bankrolling his dream. The air thickened, tension coiling like a spring. Empire? Built on what? My code, my cash, her name? 60%, Ethan. That's mine. And the SEC knows it. Bluff, but close enough. He lunged, not with a knife this time. Progress, but fists. Rage-fueled haymaker I sidestepped. Years of gym penance paying off. We grappled, crashing into the dresser, cheap wood splintering. You were nothing without me, he snarled, breath hot on my neck. I twisted free, pinning him against the wall, knee in his gut. And you? You're a thief in a suit. Mom's kids, those Oakland scraps you starved? Their faces haunt me. Yours will too. The recorder words silently, capturing every slur, every confession, the diversions, the dilution plot, even a casual admission of handling me in the future timeline. Close enough to perjury without the time travel spill. Sirens wailed distant. Lena's doing, tipped off. Ethan sagged, defeated. What do you want, pay? Money? A cut. I released him, straightening my shirt. Justice. The kind that sticks. As cops burst in, cuffs clicking like karma's applause, I slipped out the back, heart thundering. Phase 1, complete. But victory's a fickle bitch in the bay. Word spread fast. Technova imploding. Ethan arrested on fraud charges. The press feasting on the brothers' betrayal. VCs pulled funding. Devs jumped ship. I launched Paynova quietly, absorbing the talent, the IP, legally, thanks to Lena's injunction freezing assets. By fall, valuation hit 8 figures, my 60% intact and growing. Yet the twist gnawed. In the evidence dump, a photo surfaced. Ethan and me as kids, arm in arm at Mom's grave, him whispering promises to make her proud. Was it all a mask? Or had success rotted him from the inside? Lena warned over dim sum in Chinatown. Don't let it consume you, pay. Revenge is a circle, comes back round. She was right. Holidays loomed, family scattered. Our aunt in Reno texting condolences, oblivious. I visited Ethan's arraignment, chain-link barriers between us, his eyes hollowed by orange jumpsuit reality. You happy now? He mouthed through glass. Not yet, I replied, voice steady. But inside, a void. The high of payback faded to ash, leaving questions. Had I become him? The decisions, the leaks to tabloids painting him as a sociopath, the anonymous donor checks to Mom's refounded charity under his name, felt righteous, then ruthless. Controversial, sure. Forums lit up with debates. Is whistleblowing on family ever okay? My alias account trolled back. when he's stealing from orphans? Abso-fucking-lutely. Winter hit hard, rains lashing the Golden Gate like judgment. Paynova thrived, HQ in a reclaimed warehouse by the wharves, team diverse and driven, no biases in our code. Lena joined as GC, her laugh echoing in boardrooms where once I'd cowered. Romance flickered too. A barista named Mia with tattoos and trust issues, her coffee on the house, thawing my frost. But the real climax brewed in Eth's trial, spring 2023. Federal court in San Francisco, mahogany benches packed with reporters, the air electric with schadenfreude. I testified, voice cracking only once, recounting the dream, the docs, the motel melee. Prosecutors paraded the ledgers, the Cayman trails, millions vanished, Mom's foundation a ghost. Ethan took the stand, crumbling under cross. It was for us, for the family legacy. Liar, I whispered from the gallery. The jury deliberated 2 days, verdict, guilty on all counts, wire fraud, embezzlement, even a conspiracy charge for the future handling. 20 years, minimum. As marshals led him away, our eyes locked one last time. No words, just a nod, acknowledgement of the monster we'd both fed. Outside, sun broke through clouds, tourists snapping selfies by cable cars. Mia waited, hand in mine. You okay? Her squeeze grounded me. Better than dead, I quipped, the old humor resurfacing. But the twist lingered. In his cell, Ethan penned letters. First vitriol, then apologies? I envied you, Pay. Your heart. Mine turned cold, chasing shadows. Forged in isolation or manipulation. I burned them, ashes scattering in the bay winds. By summer, Paynova IPO'd, billion-dollar splash, me at the helm, toasting with Lena and Mia on a rooftop in the financial district. The city sprawled below, a glittering beast tamed, if only for a moment. I'd won. Empire reclaimed, betrayer caged, secrets exhumed. But the controversy raged, op-eds decrying family destruction in the name of capitalism, podcasts dissecting my ruthless ascent. Good. Let them argue. In America, the dream's always a double-edged sword. As fireworks cracked over the 4th, I raised a glass to ghosts, Mom's smile, my old self's folly. Trunkson wasn't just revenge, it was rebirth, scars and all. Ethan, a footnote, a cautionary tale. And me? Peyton Hale, alive, unbowed, sipping victory black. No cream, no sugar, just the raw burn of what I'd earned. The IPO afterglow faded faster than a VC's promise, leaving me staring at spreadsheets in the dead of night. The hum of servers in our data center a lullaby for the sleepless. Paynova was a beast now. Acquisitions stacking like Jenga blocks, our AI evolving from hiring tool to full-spectrum workforce optimizer, clients from Google to Gap. But success in Silicon Valley isn't a crown. It's a target, and Ethan's ghost lingered, whispering doubts through every deal. It started small. Whispers in the break room. Devs eyeing me sideways after a wired profile dropped. The brother who brought down a unicorn. Subtle digs. Heard your sibs writing a tell-all from the clink. Spill any tea. I laughed it off, but paranoia rooted deep. In my past life, Ethan had thrived on isolation, turning allies against me with half-truths. Now was history inverting? A late-night scroll through X revealed the storm. Peyton Hale scam trending. Bots amplifying claims I'd fabricated the evidence, framed him for Mom's sake. Blood money, one viral thread spat. He killed the dream to steal it. Lena shut it down fast, cease and desist flying like confetti, but the damage seeped. Investors jittered, stock dipped 3%. Mia noticed first, over eggs at Zazie in Coal Valley. You're vanishing, Pay. Work's eating you. Her hand on mine, warm against the chill of my palm. She'd stuck through the trial circus, her own scars from a toxic ex mirroring mine. Promise me, no more ghosts. I promise. I lied, kissing her knuckles. But ghosts don't keep bargains. That afternoon, a package arrived at the office, no return address, brown paper crinkled like old skin. Inside, a flash drive and a note in Ethan's scrawl. Truth hurts more than bars. Watch, brother. I plugged it in alone, heart slamming like bass at a warehouse rave. Footage grainy, timestamp 2024, my old timeline. A hidden cam in his penthouse office, overlooking the Salesforce Tower spires. Me, entering hesitant, papers in hand. Ethan, the dilution, It's not right. We need to come clean. His response, a smirk, then the pour of scotch. Clean? Hey, you're the clean one. Always were. But business is dirty. Sign this NDA, or watch it all burn. The edit cut sharp, me refusing, storming out. Then, a private call, Ethan to a fixer, voice low. Yeah, handle the liability. Make it look like an OD. Pills, easy cover. My stomach lurched. Not the knife? No, the video looped to the motel, but doctored. Me pulling the blade, him defending. Deepfake polish, AI fingerprints all over it. He'd planned the frame from the start, contingencies layered like onion skin. And the worst, audio of him confessing to mom's diversion, but twisted. Peyton pushed me. Said it'd fund his side project. Jealous little shit. Lies upon lies, but convincing to a jury doubting family bonds. I ejected the drive, smashing it under my heel, shards scattering like trust. Call Lena? Report it? No, that'd tip him off, give him martyr status. This was personal now, a duel in the digital coliseum. I hit the streets, pounding pavement from the ferry building to Fisherman's Wharf, salt air whipping clarity into fury. America's underbelly, street preachers railing against tech overlords, seals barking mockery at tourists. Fitting backdrop for my unraveling. Back at HQ, I rallied the troops, not with rah-rah, but raw honesty. All hands in the atrium, exposed brick echoing my words. We've got a snake in the grass. My brother's trying to bite from the grave. But we're Paynova. We predict, we adapt. Who's with me? Cheers erupted, fists pumping like we'd stormed the Bastille. Raj led the charge, his team reverse engineering the deepfake overnight, tracing it to a prison tablet smuggled in via a guard's cousin. Ethan's reach, even caged, was tendrils in the dark. But the real gut punch came at Mia's gallery opening in Dogpatch, abstracts splashed in neon, wine flowing like alibis. She glowed in a red dress, curls framing her artist's fire. To new beginnings, she toasted, clinking my glass. Then, a shadow. Aunt Clara, flown in from Reno, eyes red-rimmed. Peyton, Ethan's letters. He says you set him up. For Mom. Is it true? The room spun, indie folk crooning betrayal in the background. Auntie, he's lying. Always has. But her hug lingered, doubt's perfume. Family fractures don't heal with verdicts. They fester. That night, Mia and I argued in her loft, city lights painting arguments in blue. You're toxic with this, Pay. It's consuming you us. She paced, bare feet slapping hardwood. I love you, but not the vengeance machine. I grabbed her wrist gentle, voice breaking. It's not vengeance. It's protection. For everything we build. But as she pulled away, sleeping on the couch, I wondered, who was I protecting? The company? Or the boy who died trusting too much? Dawn brought resolve. I visited Ethan at San Quentin. The drive up highway won a meditation in fog, waves crashing like unresolved sins. Processing, metal detectors beeping accusations. Then the booth, plexiglass fogged by breaths. He looked gaunt, tattoos of youth peeking from sleeves, eyes like chipped flint. Creative, bro. I started, no preamble. Deep fakes. That's low, even for you. His grin was skeletal. Truth's subjective, Pay. Juries love a comeback story. Yours ends with scandal, framing your own blood for a dead woman's grudge. He leaned in, voice a hiss. Mom knew, about your mistakes. The code you stole from her foundation's IT guy? To kickstart your little hobby. Twist upon twist. Flashback, 2019, Mom's charity office, a nerdy volunteer with a flash drive of open-source scraps. I'd borrowed snippets, built my first app on them. Harmless, or so I thought. But Ethan? He'd twisted it into theft, planting the seed of my criminal bent. You're bluffing, I shot back, but sweat beaded. Had he known even then? Am I? Check the archives. Or don't. Let it eat you. Laughter barked, guards glancing. You won the war, Peyton, but I'll haunt the peace. The drive back was torment, radio blasting NPR exposés on AI ethics, irony's knife. At home, I tore through old emails, unearthing the volunteer's name, Marco Ruiz. A quick search, obituary, 2020, accidental overdose. Coincidence? Or Ethan's first body count? Lena met me at a taqueria in the Mission, tacos steaming like tempers. This changes nothing legally, he's got no proof. But PR? Volcanic. Her eyes searched mine. Walk away, Pay. Let karma finish. Karma's lazy in California. Instead, I doubled down, hired PIs, the kind who moonlighted for Hollywood dirt diggers. They unearthed gold. Ethan's prison network, payoffs to inmates for testimonies, a manuscript smuggled out titled Blood Code, How My Brother Buried Me Alive. Publisher sniffing, Vanity Fair tease. The controversy exploded. Cable news panels debating tech fratricide. Ethicists crying foul on my vindictive empire. Stock plummeted 15%. Emergency board call. I faced suits in the conference room. That same table from the image prompt. Bay glittering mockingly. Mr. Hale, optics are toxic. Step down. The ringleader, a silver-haired ex-Google exec, smug as Ethan ever was. I stood, voice steel. Step down? For fighting a liar? This company's built on truth. Our AI detects deception, for Christ's sake. Use it. Demo time. I fired up a beta scan on Ethan's manuscript excerpts. Red flags lit. Fabrications, inconsistencies. The room shifted, murmurs to nods. We're not victims. We're victors. By week's end, counteroffensive. A docuseries pitch to Netflix. Reborn in code. My story, Resurrection sans the supernatural, framed as prophetic intuition. It humanized me, villainized him. Views surged, stock rebounded. Mia returned, tentative truces over sunset walks in Golden Gate Park, eucalyptus whispering forgiveness. But the decisions piled, each more controversial. I greenlit aggressive audits on competitors, whispers of Hale's witch hunt. Laid off 10% for efficiency, headlines screaming ruthless reborn. Was I avenging or ascending on his corpse? Summer sweltered into fall, Paynova's campus expanding, solar panels gleaming, diversity hires thriving. Yet solitude struck at odd hours, coding alone, lines blurring into memories of motel shadows. One night, a call from the warden. Ethan, suicide attempt. Razor in the shower, shallow cuts, message received. Guilt nod, American as apple pie regret. I drove up again, this time with Mia's blessing. End it, she said. For you. No. But closure? Yeah. I slid a photo across. Mom's grave, fresh flowers from the refounded charity, thriving under my watch. This is her legacy, not yours to poison. He stared, tears carving tracks. I fucked up, pay. Envy. Dad's ghost, always comparing. You were the good one. Confession poured, unbidden. The volunteer? Coincidence. Pills his own demon. The knife? Panic, not plan. I loved you, bro. In my way. Words hung, toxic and tender. Love doesn't stab. But as guards called time, I added, get help. Not for me, for her. Driving south, fog lifting to stars, I exhaled decades. Twist resolved. Not monster, just man, broken, like me. Forgiveness? Not yet. But understanding? A start. Winter 2024 wrapped San Francisco in a wet embrace. Holiday lights twinkling like false promises on Market Street. Paynova's year-end gala loomed. A black-tie bash at the DeYoung, donors and darlings mingling under Chihuly glass. I stood in my penthouse dressing, Mia zipping my tux, her reflection fierce in the mirror. You clean up nice, Mr. Hale. Ready to own the room? Always, I replied. But the weight pressed. Ethan's suicide note, forwarded by the prison shrink. Tell Peyton, the code's in the blood. Break the cycle. Cryptic bullshit or genuine plea. I'd forwarded it to Lena, who shrugged. Therapy speak. Ignore. The gala glittered, champagne flutes clinking, jazz trio swinging standards. I worked the crowd, handshakes firm, pitches polished. Our AI's not just smart. It's fair. No more biased boards. Laughter, nods, a senator's card slipped into my pocket. Mia shone beside me, her art featured in the lobby, vibrant murals of fractured families, mending in color. Then, the shadow, a reporter from the information, mic thrust like accusation. Mr. Hale, sources say your brother's manuscript details a deeper conspiracy. Paynova's algorithms, lifted straight from Technova's corpse. Plagiarism payback. The room hushed, eyes darting. Mia's grip tightened. I smiled, cool as fog. Conspiracy? That's rich from a man who cooked books with Mom's memory. Our tech. Evolved. Improved. Check the patents. Mine, filed pre-betrayal. Flash the QR code on my phone. Links to USPTO docs. Crowd murmured approval. reporter deflated. Crisis averted, but the seed planted, doubts perennial. Post-gala, Mia and I escaped to her loft, city hum a distant roar. We made love slow, reclaiming space between ghosts. Afterward, tangled in sheets, she traced my scars, phantom from the knife, real from surgery after the robbery. What's the cycle, Pay? The one he mentioned. I hesitated. Vulnerability of foreign code. Envy. Betrayal. Brothers tearing each other down instead of building up. The words unlocked floodgates. Dad's abandonment. Mom's favoritism games. Unintentional, but festering. Ethan chased approval in boardrooms. I, in basements. We both lost. But I got a do-over. Her eyes softened. Then rewrite the ending. Not just for you, for us. Proposal slipped out then, ring from my pocket. A simple band, ethically sourced, like our love. Marry me, Mia. Let's code a future. Tears, yes, dawn breaking over rooftops. But fate's a glitchy beta. Next morning, Lena's call shattered bliss. Pay, it's bad. Ethan's out. Appeal granted on new evidence. That deep fake? They claim it's yours, reverse engineered to frame him. Bail hearing tomorrow. World tilted. Appeal? On what his lies? I raced to her office, stacks of filings like a paper Berlin Wall. It's bullshit. The PI traced it to him. Traced? Their forensics say otherwise. And get this, the evidence includes Mom's old emails. Peyton's unstable, always borrowing trouble. Forged, but time-stamped perfect. Ethan's masterstroke, hacking the grave, digital necromancy. He wasn't just free, he was coming for the kill shot. Stock tanked 20% pre-market, board in panic mode. Zoom calls barking, interim CEO, like hyenas. I hit the war room. Team assembled. Raj on cyber defenses, Lena on legal barricades. Even Aunt Clara flown in, her Reno pragmatism a bomb. Boys always fightin'. Time to hug it out, or lose everything. Hug. The man tried to murder me. But controversy brewed. Leaks to Bloomberg. Hale empire crumbles. Fratricide fallout. Protests outside HQ. Activists decrying tech dynasties destroying lives. My decisions, the layoffs, the audits, framed as tyrannical, not triumphant. Climax crested at the bail hearing, federal courthouse echoing footsteps like dooms. I sat gallery front, Mia's hand anchor. Ethan entered, suit crisp, no shackles, free man on technicality. Our eyes met. His, triumphant gleam, mine, storm clouds. His lawyer, a shark in pinstripes, paraded witnesses, ex-devs bribed, tearful tales of my bullying. Then, the bomb, Marco Ruiz's sister, sobbing on stand. My brother died because of Peyton, stole his work, drove him to despair. Fabricated grief, but the jury pool lapped it. I testified last, voice steady amid chaos. This isn't about code or cash. It's about a brother who chose greed over blood. I didn't kill anyone. He tried to kill me. Exhibit A. The original motel audio, unedited, his confession raw. Gasps rippled. Judge recessed, tension thick as court coffee. That night, vigil outside. Supporters with Pay Nova swag. Counter-protesters chanting, justice for Ethan. Mia and I barricaded in a hotel near Union Square. TV flickering updates. Run? She whispered, fear edging her fire. Never. My phone buzzed, anonymous text, meet at the old spot. In this. The motel. Full circle. I went alone, moon high, 101 roaring judgment. Room 12 door ajar, Ethan silhouetted, no bottle, just a ledger, yellowed pages. Truce flag, he said, gesturing me in. No guards, no games, raw, 2 wolves circling. You free to destroy me now? I spat, door clicking shut. He deflated onto the bed, ledger between us. Not destroy. Expose. The truth, all of it. Pages flipped. My borrowings from Marco, detailed. Ethan's diversions, confessed, but intertwined. We'd both skimmed. Early days, loans from Mom's fund to fuel dreams. We were partners in crime. Pay. I just went further. Revelation crashed. Complicity. I'd justified the thefts. Inspiration. Not larceny. But it enabled his spiral. Mirror held up, my reflection cracked. Why now? Voice hoarse. Because bars break you. Therapy too. I see it. Envy birthed monsters in us both. Pause, eyes wet. Take the company. but clear my name. For Mom, decision loomed, controversial core, forgive and fold, or fight to fracture. Heart hammered, America's dilemma, grace versus grudge. One condition, full confession, public, and restitution, every cent to the kids. He nodded, slow. Deal. Dawn broke as we drove to Lena's, packed, sealed in bloodless ink. Press conference next day, brothers side by side, mics hot. Ethan spoke first, voice cracking. I betrayed my family. Peyton saved it. Not from me, but for us. Details spilled, frauds, fakes, the knife's panic. Me, adding, we're human. Flawed code, but we debug. Scandal inverted. Redemption arc, stocks soaring on hail harmony. Controversies quelled. Op-eds praising corporate contrition. Mia's wedding dress shopping became therapy. Aunt Clara toasting at rehearsals. Twists end. Ethan's sentence commuted to house arrest. Community service at the charity. Ironic oversight. Rebuilding what he broke. We met monthly, coffee neutral. No mocks, just mints. Can't afford therapy, he'd quip once, light. Brothers discount, I'd retort. Healing, halting. Vows exchanged under redwoods. Spring 2025. Mia radiant. Guess a mosaic of second chances. Paynova. Global now. AI for equity, not empire. I stood at the altar, her hand in mine, Mom's locket around my neck. Trung Sin taught. Revenge circles back, but grace? That's the hack. Ethan faded to advisor, shadows to substance. Me? Peyton Hale, reborn not in rage, but release, living the dream, unmocked, unbroken. In the end, the coffee? We split the bill. Fair's fair.